Hi, it's Barbara Ireland, and my question for you today is, are animals angels? I heard this said on Sterling the Psychic Medium. I just found him and I'm intrigued. He said that his non-physical guides said that animals were angels. So I was thinking about that and I asked my guides about that. They wouldn't necessarily use the word angel. However, that the underlying purpose of animals here on Earth had a similar meaning to that people often ascribe to angels. And that is to help humans in their spiritual development. And how animals do that is to help humans develop their compassion. So in this video, I'm going to clarify more about what that means and also give you a specific way to connect with animals that can be mind-blowing. I'll tell you a couple instances that happened to me when I did that. When you do this, when you connect on a deeper level with animals, that is moving you into more of 4D consciousness. I can tell you that the 4D place is way happier than this 3D place we're at. It's so dense, it's so heavy, it's so hard. So this will help lift you into a new experience of life. Mammals, birds, insects, reptiles, all of them. How we treat animals says a lot about us. Do we squish them, chain them, beat them, ignore them? Or do we pet them, help them, love and respect them? Even when you think about how we use animal words in the English language, a lot of them are negative. I used to have a roommate in New York who said, "Oh, Hillary, she's a dog face." As if that's bad. Are they really bad faces? I think not. I think they're joyful and beautiful. And then there's, he eats like a pig. She's fat as a cow. He's dumb as an ox. Oh, you're a chicken. I mean, these are pretty nasty. Most of these negative words about animals are domesticated animals. I don't know what that means, but just as an aside. Now, lately, I have had blessed experiences with animals. I live in Seattle. A coyote walked across my path, like right in front of my car. 2 giant bald eagles flew 20 feet above my head. A heron went by yesterday. It's been remarkable. I like to look up online, what is the spiritual significance of seeing a, whatever it is, eagle, coyote. It's really interesting what people write on there. I asked my guides, was that information correct? And they said to a degree, yes, they are. What was more important for them to point out, what does it say about you if you don't see any animals like that? Now, you may be in a really, really urban situation, in which case, I guess, it's harder to see these. So what happens if you're not seeing animals? My guide said it simply means your focus is so outward, 3D again, that you're not noticing the magic that can be had on this beautiful planet that we're on. You might be in fear or depression or anxiety or just simply too focused in the busyness of life and your to-do list. So it's a cue. Start seeing what's going on in here, what's going on in spirit, and then see if some animals show up. Now, I've been connected with animals in magical ways pretty much my whole life. I want to tell you 2 stories that I used a specific secret technique that I will share with you in a moment and what that led to. I'll make these quick, but they're really interesting. The first story was I was sitting in my living room and I heard this really loud buzz. And I looked and it was one of those giant flies, those huge 747s buzzing around. I did my secret technique, which I'll tell you in a minute, but I just put out my finger and that giant fly flew and landed on my finger, which is what I was asking him to do, I slowly got up and I walked to the front door and I let him out. Yeah. When I went to visit my dad in New Mexico, and he had all these flies in his house, and he had this swatter, and he was whacking. And I'm like, hold on, Dad. And I took each fly out one by one. My dad was not really a believer in this kind of thing, and he was just silenced by that one. I did it multiple times with multiple insects, giant flying cockroaches and lots of bees. Okay, so that's my first story. My second story was when I was living in a house and we had squirrels that got into the roof. Have you ever heard that? It's a really horrible sound. You can hear them eating the wires and the insulation and scratching. We tried everything to get them out. And the squirrels every night would just... So one day I did my secret technique, and when I finished it, I showed them in my mind's eye, I want you out by sunset, like a cowboy. And I told them I would feed them peanuts every 3 days if they left by sunset that night. They left. I kid you not. I have witnesses. Not only that, but every 3-ish days, I'd be having breakfast, and all of a sudden I'd see out the window the squirrel had jumped up on a fence and it was waiting for its peanut. Pretty soon they would come right up to my hand and I'd hand it to them, and they'd hang out and eat the peanut with me. And they did this for generations. Infant squirrels were taught to go ask for their every 3-day peanut. It was miraculous. I would love to hear your connection with animal stories, so please share them in the comments below. I think they're beautiful. Okay, now for the secret that I do to get this level of communication with animals and connection. When I was connecting with the fly, I closed my eyes and I opened my heart towards it. And here's the key. I told it that we were equals, that I considered that fly equal to me in spirit. Humans have such a hierarchical concept of the world, but what makes me better than the fly in the eyes of spirit? We're made of the same spiritual substance. It's the life force. So I let it know, I don't feel like I'm better than you. I feel we are equals. And I told it that I would take it out if it landed on my finger. And doesn't it want to go out? That's where the food is. And that's when it arrived on my finger. That's also what I told the squirrels. I connected with them on an equal level, not like, you're a crummy animal and you're eating my insulation, get the hell out. It wasn't that. It was like, hey, little brother and sister, we are equals. I would really prefer it if you went outside. I'll give you something in return. I'll make it really beneficial for you. That's the other piece. You make it beneficial for the creature. Try this. It's amazing. I did it with an iguana in the Galapagos Islands. I did it with whales in Baja. They come to you when they feel it. Remarkable experiences happen. The fact is, we are human beings, but we are animals. We're mammals. Connecting with animals will help you move into a higher level of consciousness, that of 4D. If you would like to know more about 4D consciousness and another way to move into that, I recommend this video. And what I talk about in there will also help you deal with life's difficult moments and help you feel more empowered. So thank you for watching, and I wish you lots of incredible animal encounters this week. All right, much love.